Hi guys, so this week we are going to do more challenging projects, and we are going to kick off with how to draw hands. Right, so we're going to begin with a hand palm down like this, like you would trace it, right? And we're going to start with drawing the basic structural shapes of the hand first. Now, the basic structure of a hand is almost like a square. The palm part is like a square, and then think of the bones inside the hand. Your fingers inside the bones doesn't stop there. It goes on into the palm of your hand, right? So think about that. So your basic structure shapes will be something like this. And you won't draw them this dark. Okay, so close it. It's pretty much, if you look at just the palm of the hand, it's closer to the point finger, the pointy finger, than it is to this side of the palm. Okay, so that one will be, starts almost in the middle here at the back, and it does that. And remember, this one is longer than your other fingers. Alright, now for the pointy finger, starts around about here, and it goes out like that. It's not quite as long as that one. Starts around about here and goes almost straight up, and it's almost as tall as my middle finger. My pinky, feel in your hand on the bones. The pinky starts about here and it goes outwards, but it's a lot shorter, very much there. Now your thumb. Your thumb starts here where your hand attaches to your arm. Right about here is where your thumb starts, and then it does something like this. That's pretty much what your thumb does. Right, so other things you have to keep in mind. Your arm doesn't go straight out from the palm of your hand. It, especially on the inside here by the thumb, it kind of curves in first, then goes out. On that side, because of the position of my hand, it goes in and then out like that. And remember, your arm grows thicker away from your wrist, so make this thicker. Right, let's start drawing this hand. So you've got the basic structure now. Now check your thumb. It's flat on this side with a pointy tip, and then it grows thicker and thinner again. See? So let's try and do that. The flatness here is because of the finger is flat on top, right? And then the nail is more flat as well. And then that's the fleshy part of your thumb. That's why that bulges out a bit. Right. So let's do this thing. Let's just get it into the position I had it. And then it does this. Doesn't have a round thumb. It's kind of pointy. Goes out, goes back in. And now almost immediately it attaches to this fleshy bit here. So now I have to do, now here I'm using this negative space here to get that right. And the fleshy bit continues almost to there. It stops about there. Okay. Now to do this nail, you look at the negative spaces around the nail to get the shape of the nail right. Okay, that's pretty much it. Okay, now I'm going to continue with this finger. Okay, with the fingers, I also forgot about this knuckle on the thumb. So let's just put that in. Remember where the knuckles are, where the joints are? It's thicker there, right? So it does something. Oh, this is what mine does. Like this. Okay, now let's go to this one. Now the first knuckle here on my hand, the only way I can see them is the difference in skin color there, and there's a few more wrinkles. The first knuckle I really encounter, and I'm still using this negative space here to draw my finger, and don't be fooled by these shadows on the paper. The first knuckle I encounter is around about here, and it's not big, it's very subtle. And then there's another bulgy bit there. There's a short pot in between, another slightly bulgy bit there, and then it tapers off to the tip of my finger. Now your fingers can be round and pointy at the front, or it can be more square. If you have longer nails, it will be more round and pointy. It all depends on what your hands look like, so check carefully. Alright, and then in line with this knuckle, on that side there's not much of a bulge with that knuckle, but here it has quite a bigger bulge. Alright. Okay, now we come here. Now what I can see, it's not round and it's not exactly horizontal, it's a slightly slanted little bit there, and immediately there's a wrinkle right there on my hand. There's a wrinkle that does that. Okay, now for the next knuckle I can see on my middle finger, I compare with the finger I've already drawn. If I put my pencil like that, you can see that that knuckle is a bit higher than this one. About a pencil size, almost a knuckle size. So if I put the pencil on my paper, that knuckle will be around about there, just above this one. See? There's this knuckle. That knuckle is just above where this one is. So here's this knuckle, and that one is just above it. I'm not going to worry about the wrinkles on that knuckle for now. Okay, and then my finger slants away a little bit. And now I want to check how much longer that finger is. If I hold the pencil that it touches the tip of my finger, just about, I can more or less judge that that finger is about 2 pencils longer. So 1, 2, about to there. It's quite a bit longer. And that finger of mine is less pointy and almost more square. Not quite. Okay, then it comes in and there's a big bulge here next to this knuckle again. And the bulge kind of continues as I press my hand to the page. I can see that fleshy bit bulging a little bit there. Not very much. Now here it's kind of round. The space in between my fingers there. It's kind of round. Okay. This knuckle is also, but it looks also a little bit higher, but it's almost in the same position. So here's this one. It's a tiny bit lower than that one. So it will start around about there. Kind of overlaps with that one. And the tip stops about a pencil breadth further back, so around about there. Now you must check your hands specifically. You're going to draw your hands, and shapes of hands differ just as much as faces does, right? So don't draw my hand. Look what your hand looks like. If it will help you to get that observation on par again, do a few blind contour sketches where you don't look at your page. Remember those? Now this one kind of does kind of a weird thing. It kind of does this, and then the pinky starts almost immediately. And the pinky's knuckle is right underneath that one. Good. So there. And then I'm checking this negative space for the angle of the pinky compared to this ring finger. And it seems to be about that. And then where does it stop? I would guess about 1, 2 and a bit. So around about here. And my pinky is also a bit rounded and pointy at the front. And then it kind of makes like a curve there. A general curve up to about here. And then the fleshiness of my palm curves out again. That far. Not like that. And it kind of stops here, and then my arm comes out there. Right, so that's the lines of my hand. I'm not gonna bother. I might just draw the nails in, but for now I'm not gonna bother with all the veins and the wrinkles on my hand. Most of you struggle with the shape of the fingers and the position of the fingers and how big the palm is compared to the fingers. So we're practicing that, and I know it's revision for some of you. Be patient. It's good for you to do this again. The more you practice hands, the better you become at drawing other things. Now my hands are I've kind of got very knobbly hands. Just want to finish that one. Alright, so let me do the nails. I'm looking at the negative spaces. This one doesn't go around like that. It kind of does that. Okay, this one almost the same. Using the negative spaces around the finger. and this one goes it's got a little bit of an arch there, not as much as my thumb had. Oh, it's bigger, a little bit bigger there, like that, and it does have a bit of an arch there. Okay, my pinky is a bit slanted to one side, so the nail looks different. There's less flesh there and more on this side because my finger is slanted. And then it has pretty sharpish pointy arch there. Alright. Okay, so that's the one hand. Now when you're done with this, you can erase all these structural lines. We're going to do hands again, and then we'll talk about how to, you don't draw the wrinkles, you shade them. But then we'll do that later when we talk about shading hands. For now, we're working on getting the structure and the shape of the hand right. Okay, now let's move to this one here.